What's happening, connoisseurs? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today's Thursday, February 13th. Today's the day that RFK Jr. is officially confirmed as the HHS head. He got confirmed with a vote of 52 to 48. So this is great to see. I mentioned that I didn't expect any roadblocks. This wasn't really a surprise to me, but great to see nonetheless. And we've got a banger of a video here today. We're going to discuss all of that and more. Before we do, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. Follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. It's the best way for me to get real-time updates out to the community. As reported by CBS News, Senate confirms RFK Jr. as HHS Secretary in a 52 to 48 vote. So again, I don't think this really caught many by surprise. There was some, there was some skepticism going around with regards to and controversy with regards to Trump's picks. And ultimately, I've been saying for a while now that it doesn't really matter, to a great extent who is leading these different agencies, because it's going to be a top-down approach. And, he obviously has been in contact with these people that he's looking to, lead different agencies. And if they're not speaking the same language, right, if they're not willing to do what the president wants, then they'll just be out of a job. I've been saying that for a while now. And his whole, campaign right now is promises made, promises kept. And there's a bunch of information here a little bit later on as to why he would want to get this done and see some sort of reform. But I'm very confident we're going to see reform, more than likely rescheduling and banking in 2025, 2026. But this was a lot of the worry that was in the market and the industry this week was when Trump picked a new DEA leader, and that was Terence Cole. So Trump's new DEA leader has a just say no stance on MJ, linking MJ use to suicide risk and schizophrenia. I would mention that, in this video, I posted a video not too long ago on exactly that, Trump nominating Terence Cole to lead the DEA. I said it was a bit of a mixed bag, at surface level. This was before, all this information came out and this article came out with MJ Moment. But I mentioned that, with the Virginia MJ Council and, them overseeing the medical market, making sure there was safe access to that was a great sign for me. And ultimately he had a mixed bag, right? I looked at Grok and he had an anti-MJ stance, but a lot of this information surfaced later on with regards to his posts and things like that. But ultimately, like I said, I think he's bringing in a heavy hitter to focus on other issues like fentanyl. Like if you look at Canada has a new fentanyl czar, right? So this seems to be the narrative right now is cracking down on actual substances that are highly addictive and have no medical value, right? That are, killing hundreds of thousands of people. Whereas MJ is medicine. It's helping people tremendously in all different walks of life from a medical standpoint. And it's never killed a single person ever. So, not only that, we're in a pro common sense, pro business, pro the American people, give the people what they want. 80 to 90% of Americans want it legal in some form of another. It's time to end this stupidity, right? It's time to get with the program here and get with the times. We've been legal for almost 7 years here in Canada at the federal level. And it's also, a pro job creation, pro tax revenue, and then also cutting wasteless spending. And think of all of the enforcement actions and money, hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars going into to enforcing this stupid law that it shouldn't be illegal in the first place. And again, check out this video here. There was a video as well from Trump saying in the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about drugs and pharmaceuticals and other things as well. But you should check that out. That's going to be huge. Also, this was some other great news. U.S. Senate confirms Tulsi Gabbard as a director of national intelligence. And shout out to Andy in the Power Group private community shared that. She owns Kronos Group and a bunch of other stocks as well. But the United States Senate has confirmed former Congress member Tulsi Gabbard as the new director of national intelligence. And she has consistently supported allowing adults to use MJ without criminal penalties, arguing that the government should not interfere with personal choices. MJ use is a personal choice and should not be a criminal act, she said in 2019, adding that for many years I have worked to end MJ prohibition. So this is great to see. The fact that MJ remains a Schedule I drug is unacceptable, she said. So very pro MJ. So that's now 2 this week, after we had this worry and kind of skepticism about his pick and controversial pick here in Terence Cole. But again, I think it's going to be from the top down. And shout out to Anthony Martinelli over at the MJ Herald. I said, well said, my friend. I'm very confident rescheduling and banking reform will get passed in 2025, 2026. They have bigger fish to fry. Not only does MJ create more jobs and tax revenue, it's also going to eliminate wasteful enforcement actions that cost the country billions, and focusing on more bigger issues at hand, like I said, bigger fish to fry, and the fentanyl crisis and opioid crisis, all of these things that really are killing and making our streets unsafe, right? And giving people access to the safe, regulated industry, because people are going and they're buying MJ from their dealer or whatever down the street, and let's say they're tired, they're not really getting a good buzz anymore, they're having a really bad day, and then, oh well, why don't you try this XYZ drug, or I'm out of MJ, why don't you buy this as a stopgap? And they want you to come back more and more, and it's more addictive, right? So it's just about making our streets safer. I mean, even JD Vance has said they found traces of fentanyl and things like that in MJ. So it's all about making the country safer and the world safer. And this is what Anthony Martinelli said. He said, it's no shock that Trump is nominating loyalists. If he wants rescheduling, Cole is not going to stop it. Trump has been mum on cannabis. So try not to say that word, but hopefully I don't get flagged here on YouTube. Try to get this video out as many people as funny. Yeah, somebody commented too. It's like, it's funny how you can say fentanyl, but not MJ. And it's so true. But he's likely waiting for Cole's confirmation to speak on rescheduling and for the measure to be refiled to speak on safer banking reform. Trump will push rescheduling for two reasons. It's a politically popular issue with bipartisan support that he mentioned during his campaign, allowing him to say he fulfilled another campaign promise. And again, promises made, promises kept is kind of where he's the campaign slogan. And it allows him to say he got what the Biden and his administration couldn't. He got done what they couldn't, right? So that's a great point. Shout out to Anthony there. Kudos to you, my friend. Those are two very, very great points here that I think is going to that is going to bode well here for this industry, and that is going to age well. And then check out the U.S. MJ Council. President Trump has been very clear about his support for MJ reform. Terry Cole will serve on behalf of the president. We fully expect him to fulfill the Trump administration's agenda. And now let's blow this up a little bit. President Trump supports moving MJ to Schedule 3, and his nominees are committed to enacting his agenda. We look forward to working with the Trump administration officials, particularly at the Justice Department, to move our nation away from the failed policies of the past. And, you got Pam Bondi in there now as AG. So, we could even get just an official ruling from her. We'll see what happens, but I think it's going to happen sooner than later, where this is going to get rescheduled, right? It's a medical issue, and then you're going to see, in my opinion, banking, and then uplisting to NYSE and the NASDAQ, get the big banks positioned, JP Morgan's, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, get all the Black Rocks of the world, get these hedge funds and Wall Street banks positioned, get them access to U.S. major exchanges, and then they'll deschedule it and fully legalize it, in my opinion. Nothing happens in the world without those big banks. And in my opinion, before they really unleash the shackles, they're going to want uplisting and U.S. major exchange access. Also, the DEA judge grants requests from 3 pro-MJ rescheduling participants, saying the hearing is up to the DEA. Connecticut Office of MJ, that's not what I wanted to say. Where was it at here? So they're basically, it was an uneven playing field, so they're leveling the playing field here. Where was it here? Should have highlighted it before I started the stream. Anyways, not a big deal. You can check out that whole article. Maybe it was a different article that I saw. But MJ legalization has majority support in Florida, but not enough to be enacted. New poll from opposition group finds. And there's been Kevin Sabet over at Smart Approaches to MJ. There's been proof that he's been actually paid whenever he said he wasn't. So he's a complete liar. And the Dems, saying that they wanted this to be rescheduled, but that's not what they were showing. Why are you giving money to an anti-legalization and prohibitionist group? Doesn't look very good, does it? And then Trump hosts former MJ prisoner at the White House on February 13th, 2025. So this is great to see. Bill passes, GOP Senator, UK leader put down the bomb. But yeah, this was great to see. So Mark Fogel, who was incarcerated in Russia for possessing medical MJ, He hosted them at the White House without any mention of the US's own ongoing prohibition of MJ. So there's been some speculation that if he's doing this around the world and going to Russia and getting people back from international markets, why not protecting people at home here that are people that are wrongly incarcerated or serving time or whatever it is, or that were affected by it. It's hard to get a job and even rent, or, you're getting debanked, all of these issues, right? And there's talks about that being a big concern as well, of all the debanking issues in the choke point, Operation Choke Point. So I think all of these things coming together nicely, it's hard not to be bullish. And if you look at the price, you're like, oh, how can you be bullish, right? It's an absolute bloodbath out there, but we're seeing a little bit of a recovery here now. You've got MSOX, CGC, ACB kind of turning green here and seeing some momentum. We're just starting the daily bounce here on MSOS, and extremely broken down. We're coming off new all-time lows, right? So could see a daily EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but we've got many months left to go. We still have to start the monthly bounce, form a high, then a higher low and a higher high to be confident that the bear market is over. So, and we can't just see it on MSOS. It has to be on Canadian ETFs. It has to be on all of the producers in Canada, the US, retailers in the US and Canada and abroad and international markets. Think of Intercure and all these other names, right? We want 80 to 90% of MJ stocks and ETFs to be in monthly uptrends. And if that's the case, then like I said, we can be very, very confident that the bear market is over and we're potentially starting a new multi-year bull market. And big tech, crypto, AI looks very close to be topping out. And I think MJ is going to be a great beneficiary of that, because a lot of that rotation is going to go into this industry that has been held back for the last 5 years in a bear market when everything else has been in a 5-year bull market, essentially, right? So that money's got to go somewhere, and I think MJ is a big candidate for that rotation, and could go on to become one of, if not the best performing sectors over the coming years. But let me know what you think of all of this news. Like I said, it was a rocky start to the week, and Terry Cole, raising a lot of eyebrows, pissing a lot of people off. For lack of a better word. And, now that's how quickly things can change, right? So you need to look under the hood and look what's going on, not just what's in a headline and, in front of you at that exact second. And Trump has said he was in support of Amendment 3, he's in support of banking and rescheduling, and the doctors, he's on Lex Friedman and saying that the doctors have said nothing but amazing things, and it's been amazing from a medical perspective, right? So the writing's on the wall. We had 2 presidential candidates, 2 tickets, both supporting MJ reform, one saying on the other aisle saying they wanted to fully recreationally legalize it at the federal level, and then the other side saying they support rescheduling and safer banking, et cetera, right? So, and Amendment 3 in Florida. So this is all going in the direction that we want. It's just share prices obviously are not indicative of a company's value or a sector's value. It's unfortunate. It's frustrating. I get that. But share prices can be irrational to the downside, just like they can be to the upside. And right now, the momentum's to the downside. So expect a little bit more sideways action, if not even a lower price action here, as crypto, big tech, AI continues to steal the spotlight. But the good news is that's likely coming to an end soon, and then it'll soon be MJ's time to shine. All right, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. We'll continue the conversation there. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll catch you on the next video.